The following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Oh my gosh! Hey, look! I pulled a shooty, and I've got the music in the background on my phone, and I mean, gosh, way to bring myself back to the show. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Coach's Box. Call it like we see it podcast. This is episode 192. Gosh, you'd think after 100, I'd figure out how to and know what I'm doing, but apparently my internet still sucks, and I'm still making mistakes like that. So
I hate technology right now. I hate technology. Technology sucks.
Jim,
and yes, Zach, I'm negative today. Let's just not even go there.
No,
I'm negative.
I was going to say that, Jim, I see you in the setup perfectly. It's great. I can see me in the setup, and then Chris, just a face for radio. You know what I mean?
Wow. I'm pretty sure that's what my parents told me the same thing too when I was born. Really appreciate the support and the love of the Coach's Box community. If I actually give a damn. So anyway, I don't.
You don't.
I don't. Just no, I don't care. Again, I just adjusted something. If it's not better, I don't have to tell you. For everybody who's listening for free,
we know what you want to tell them, but you're just not going to tell them.
Jim, this is a family show, and I would never say anything that would jeopardize us being here as a family show. Not at all. I don't want to put the little E next to everything on the Apple Podcast stuff. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, hey, listen, I think I have said one less big profanity word in the last couple months than someone else here who's currently on, and that's why I'll leave it at that. So anyway,
it's not me.
Yeah, okay. So anyway,
it wasn't me.
Yeah. Okay, Shaggy. So this is our 192nd episode, 8 away from the big match for 200, and it is the unofficial start of summertime because Memorial Day just happened. Hopefully everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend and a holiday. Remember, again, I always like to say this. We have Memorial Day for a specific reason, not for barbecues and pool and floating and everything else. It's about honoring those who have made these freedoms possible for us, just like us being able to bring you the show for free. There are people who made that possible by laying down their lives for this great country. So, again, I always like to salute those. I wasn't on the show last week, but I wanted to make sure that those get their due. And thank you to all of our military who have served and are still with us today. We appreciate your service. And I know everybody on the Coach's Box agrees and feels that way.
Amen, brother.
100,000%. So, again, it is the start of summer unofficially because it's not June 21st or whatever. And who cares? It's hot outside sometimes already. So we're going to get right into the meat of it. We got a lot of stuff. If you saw our clip art that's kind of been going on. So we're going to jump right in. We want to talk a little bit about our awards and Festus baseball, obviously, and some of our other baseball programs it did really well this year. Festus trying to get back to the state championship. Came up a little bit short, but a great season nonetheless. You guys jump in.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, they did everything they needed to do. They just ran into a really hot team right now that's actually going to be playing over the weekend. So, but Festus, the program that they built has just been terrific over the last 3-4 years. And you got to take your hats off to their coaching staff. And real quick, too, while we're talking about Festus, our thoughts and prayers go out to the whole Festus community with the tragedy from yesterday. So, while we're talking about Festus, hey, listen, we got you covered with thoughts and prayers and all that, because I wouldn't want any community to go through what, Festus is going through over the last 36 some odd hours. But no, I mean, what a terrific year baseball wise for them. I'll talk on the track side. You know what?
Track.
Watching those kids. Yeah, I was there. I saw it. I witnessed it.
My bad.
Right here. I was at finish line. But what a great meet for Hillsborough. What a great meet for Festus. There were some DeSoto athletes that really did a terrific job. But my gosh, when you run into, let's see, Cardinal Ritter, four straight consecutive state championships, and then a Ladue school that wins both Class 4 boys and girls. Yeah, it's going to be awfully tough to try and catch up with. But Zach, we kind of talked about it a little bit last week about, Hillsborough and Festus, and it kind of came out just the script that you kind of figured. Hillsborough ended up on the podium, but it wasn't their distance program that got it there. It was more of their field events that got them to where they needed to be.
Yeah, they did a lot of good things, and again, I mean, you just talk about the local athletes just shining both on the boys side and on the girls side. Just something special to watch. Obviously you're there, but it's just something that really gives credence and respect to the county, to our area, and even down in AAA as well. We always include them with our talks. And I found this out, and I'm going to give a shout out. The Fuller boy out of Farmington, he won, I believe he won the mile and the 800.
Yes.
And I asked.
He was really good.
And you talk about Memorial Day and armed services and all that. Found out he's going to West Point to run cross country and track for them. So congratulations to him and best luck to him. Because I mean, you talk about a fun guy just to kind of watch and really kind of emulate, but just to kind of hear his story and hear what type of a kid he is. So kudos to him and again, all of the other local guys too. So Dremeyer, one of Ethan's buddies, he won the 2 mile as a sophomore for Festus. That's just again, watching a little bit of the video, seeing him run, he's just pacing. He's just keeping pace with the guy who's in second place. And about the last 120 yards, he's just like, okay, I'll go ahead and go. I'll go.
I'm done.
I'm done. And, yep. It's just like, really? Really? But he's such a good kid, comes from a great family, and we'll be excited to see kind of what his future holds. Just, I mean, he's already at the D1 level as a sophomore. We'll see how high he climbs and where he ends up going.
I want to talk about, and he's not from this area, but I would be absolutely remiss if I did not talk about a young man from Nixa.
Oh, man.
His dad's kind of a big deal. I think Christian Cantwell maybe won a gold medal or something in the Olympics. Yeah.
Well,
his
now
son,
Jim, is he as big of a deal as you are?
Bigger. He is bigger.
Time.
Trust me. He's bigger.
It's tough. Go ahead.
His son, number one, he broke the Class 5 record last year. The way he's been throwing this year, you knew he was going to break the all-class record. I don't know if anybody saw the pictures. Nixa hosted the district meet. They moved the shot put pit into the football field so everybody can see dude throw.
No, just you. Everybody else can throw.
Everybody. They moved the whole stinking shot put to the middle of the football field just so everybody could see him throw in the competition. So
cool.
Down at Atkins Stadium, and it's a great setup. I know the media hates it. I don't care. I think it's a terrific setup. They had to lengthen the pit, and they were still on Saturday morning before he threw. They were still hoping he would not hit 71-72.
Oh my goodness!
Wow!
Because if it would have been over 72, he was hitting the fence that was leading down to the discus pit.
So you're saying that's pretty good?
Yeah. He ended up winning Class 5, and he set an all-new, all-class record. And the dude is just a man-child. He's 6'7", 6'8". I mean, it was so funny. We're giving the medals out, and he won the disc the day before. So he was a double winner. But shot is where he's going to make the bread. But the poor women that hand out the medals while I'm announcing them, they basically had to say, "You're gonna have to kneel down. We can't get off." He's 6'7", 6'8". He's like, they got him on the number one podium, and yeah, you got bend down. Get
a ladder to climb up.
But I mean, when we looked over, and he threw in the 10 o'clock wave. I got there at 8:15, and there were people already, because on the above is like this really cool patio area that Jeff City's got that overlooks all the throws. Mm-hmm. That was 3-4 people deep. Then you got all the kids that aren't running an event that are trying to jam against the fence to watch the kid throw. You got all the coaches who shouldn't have been there to begin with trying to get in there and watch the kids throw. Media who's just livid at this time because they can't get pictures of the kid. It's just like, it was rock star treatment. And wow. I mean, he is, and I'm telling you right now, I honestly believe if not next year, by his senior year, he will end up setting the all-time high school shot put record in the United States, and he'll end up doing it at the state meet.
It's almost like when you're that good, just say, hey, when everybody else is done, call me. Because, districts, I guess, was at Nick's at home. I'll get off the couch or whatever, and then I'll show up, and then we can do it. But I don't need to get here this early. You let me know when I need to show up.
So his dad, Christian Cantwell, he actually he got a silver medal in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. In 2009, at the IAAF World Championship, won the gold. Indoor Championships, he won the gold. And then won the gold in Monte Carlo and at another event. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And his son is going to be maybe better than him. And I think now, because when Christian threw, it was, you're still talking late 2000s. Now you look at the technology now, how you can do a lot of different things. This kid's going to make the Olympic team in 4 years, and this kid is going to dominate it.
That's awesome. That's awesome to have that coming out of our state. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, without a doubt. And, the exposure that he's given the state, it has just been terrific on the track and field level. Obviously, Ritter, getting the 4-peat and after moving up another class on the girls' side. And then you look at what Ladue did. It was a terrific weekend for track. And then obviously, what the Hillsborough, DeSoto, Farmington, Festus kids did, all the Jeffco County kids. It was just a fun 2 days down at Jeff City for the track and field crew.
Yeah, it's good to see our local kids, and then, like you said, other kids from around the state, making big waves. That's what we want to see. We want to see some good representation from our state altogether, especially the area, because we see these kids up close and we're around them, so that's awesome. I didn't get to see any track and field because I don't like going to track and field meets. To be honest with you,
Just like soccer. It's just like soccer. I don't like going to the soccer championships.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, the only guys who get to kick the ball and try to score are the strikers anyway. So
that is not true.
Butter.
That is not true. Not true. Tim Parker for City is a center back, and he scores.
What's a center
okay?
back?
A silverback.
He plays in the back by the
gorilla.
He's a gorilla.
He's a
gorilla.
Where's Kevin? Me, Kevin, and Jarvis had a great talk last week.
Did you guys? I didn't watch.
Jarvis.
I'm sorry, Zach. Me, Zach, and Kevin had a great conversation about City last week.
Hey, listen, Jim, all you need to be thinking about right now is how this is 2 weeks in a row that Jarvis is not on this show. So he doesn't get to talk anymore.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Never entered my mind.
Hey,
never entered. I'm too busy trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get 16 rosters done on a laptop that I'm praying is going to work tomorrow. That's all I'm worried about right now.
Wait, Jim, you know what that
means?
Where's
Kevin at when I need him? Where is Kevin at when I need him?
Use stuff that's cloud-based. Stop using Microsoft Word, Excel, things that are computer-based because you can lose them. No.
Stat Crew is freaking DOS. Stat Crew is DOS.
And you've identified the problem.
Problems
identified. Why? Hey, don't you know?
Because that's the stat program. That's the stat program that they use.
Get it figured out. Come on, tell them change it. What they use.
I'm trying.
Hey, if anything, hey, Jim, you can still copy and paste stuff, can't you? You know what? Well, that sounds like you know what? Then they deserve not to have stuff. There you go.
Oh, gosh, here we go. Right, you can't have the nice play toys. That's
it. Can't. No, because you're still using DOS. This generation doesn't even know what the hell DOS is.
Exactly.
Anybody and be like, hey, you ever use DOS? What are you talking about? DOS. I'm sorry, is that an acronym for something? LOL, DOS. No freaking way. Nobody knows what that is. There's people my age who still don't know what that is. They're just like, what?
You know what I feel like
tonight? Time as a freaking Betamax. I mean, come on.
I feel like I've been DOSed tonight instead of mossed. I feel like I've been DOSed tonight. There it is. All right, I'm done.
On the old floppy disk, hold
on. What's this? As I'm breaking stuff in my office now.
Real quick before we move to our next subject, I heard somebody talking the other day, and I'm not sure if it was a joke or what, but they just said that they were going through some of the stuff in their office, and their daughter was looking at stuff, trying to find something, and pulls out one of those the small disc, a regular, not the 3.5 or 5 point whatever floppy, but the 3.5 floppy. And it's like, oh my gosh, did you take a 3D printer and make the save sign? And it's like, at that point, I realized that I'm old. So, yeah.
My comment to Langhauser, Dougie, and Nolan is, I'm old, I'm cranky, and I don't care who I tick off.
I don't.
It's where I'm at right now.
I don't ever see those guys. They don't comment on the show. They're closet watchers too. Come on.
Well, Langhauser, Dougie is. Nolan doesn't care about us. He never watches our show. So we're not even after tonight.
The Mike Nolan needs to watch the show.
His ego is too big to watch this show.
Oh, is that a DeSmet thing? I thought that was a DeSmet thing.
Not while I'm drinking. Okay, stop it.
Sorry. All right. Hey, in other major news, since we got a cornucopia of different things we're going to try to hit on tonight, I will have to say I'm really excited to say goodbye to one particular person who is absolutely terrible, more terrible at their job than me, who's worked at many different schools, and Jarvis who worked at many different schools, but at least I can see. And I will have to say I'm so happy that Angel Hernandez, the most revered umpire on TikTok, is hanging him up. The best call he's ever made in his career is to say,
Was a no call.
I'm done, and we're going to walk away. Now, I did hear that he took a settlement and didn't, it was told he had to, and was so upset with the settlement that he stormed out and slammed the door. 10 minutes later, he realized he walked into a closet and then came back out, signed his retirement paper, and that was it. But yes,
a settlement for what?
No, because remember, he had a lawsuit against MLB,
right? And he lost.
But he was going to appeal it.
Oh, is that going?
And it was going up the ladder, and apparently they both just said, "Yeah, you know what? Here, you drop this. We'll give you this. Go away." And remember, he has not done a game since the end of March.
Yeah.
So, there was already the little whispers going on, so to say. But yeah, he's gone. Joe West is gone. Now all we got to do is get CB Buckner the hell out of Dodge. And guess what? Major League Baseball, and I said this today, it's because of Angel Hernandez and CB Buckner that there's even a conversation about robo-umpires in the year 2026.
Sure.
It's because of those two idiots.
Well, I mean, again, you're not going to drop $200, $300, $400 or whatever it is nowadays to go to a ball game and watch the umpires. And it's like, listen, you're doing your job well when no one knows you're there. And
Perfect.
and we can get into it. I know it's not on the script. We can get into it later in another segment. But what went down with the Mets the other night, and when they DFA'd, come to find out they DFA'd the Lopez guy. Okay.
Zach, did you hear what he said in the press conference?
I didn't. No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
He made a comment that it's like, yeah, you're going to.
He said, I really don't care because we're the worst bleeping team in the MLB.
Oh, well.
And
that's why he got DFA'd.
Are they in last place? Because
yes.
If they are, facts
division.
Apparently don't care about feelings, care about facts. I don't know. No, but anyway.
You can't say that, though. That's
not
no, you're not being a good
It's after he threw his glove. I mean, he was going to get fined anyway for throwing the glove into the damn bleachers.
Again, is this not entertainment? Are you not entertained? I bet a lot of people are entertained. I bet
Don't throw your glove into the stands.
Listen, you can, Chris, listen, no. You can do that one time.
He did it once.
He did it once.
Okay, well, he got DFA'd. There you go. Bye-bye.
What about the NBA player that threw the basketball into the stands? Not once, twice, at the same woman. And then he got suspended and fined.
Oh no! Wait, I'm getting paid, and I don't have to do anything. Oh no! Oh, poor me. No, but going back to the Lopez thing, he caused, he has an issue with the umpire. Now, I don't think the guy checked his swing at all, but again, that probably doesn't get to that point. It probably doesn't get to that point if the umpire doesn't throw him out. If the umpire shows some restraint and does his job and de-escalates instead of escalating the situation, guess what? He probably isn't DFA'd. He doesn't say those comments and all of that.
Still says those things.
He's probably going to say those things, but here's what I'm going to tell you. This year more than ever, Major League Baseball umpires have had the shortest fuses and the quickest trigger fingers of any time in my 56 years of being on this earth.
God, you're 56?
Thank you very much. Yes, I am.
That's over halfway to 100, Jim.
I may be dead by next week. You never know.
Do you have a 5-year plan? 5 years.
Do I have a... Yes, our good friend. Yes, I've got insurance. So
here, Jim. Whatever your plan is, I got to tell you this right now. I just feel in my heart of hearts to tell you the number one thing on your 5-year plan should be don't die. All right, everything else should refer back to number one. Go ahead.
Right. No, but I mean, it's the quick trigger fingers that MLB umpires have had this year, it's really given them a bad look. But the problem is, you really can't do anything because the Major League Baseball Umpires Union is one of the most powerful unions out there. And it's a joke. It's ridiculous. I mean, there's all these things on Twitter, and I actually see one of them where they literally have the strike zone and, the accuracy, so to say. And it's really cool to actually see. Umpiring this year, they're only averaging 93% ball strikes getting it correct. That's not good.
No,
that is not good at all.
I do believe that that the pitchers' ERAs are. I think that's because we have a wider strike zone than what we should.
Oh yeah,
put out there,
and nobody's adapting to it. That's the other problem.
Yeah, that's half the battle. I think is a hitter that we see how the umpires. Of course, yeah. If it's the shape of Maryland, like some of those individuals we've mentioned already on this episode. Hernandez,
Angel Hernandez, C.V. Buckner,
yeah,
Joe West.
You're not really going to know where the strikes are per se, but if we're if they're giving you the outside and the inside is a ball, then you gotta adjust. That just seems like common sense. Like maybe after the last 20 times the ball was thrown there, he'll change his mind. Most umpires are going to call it the way they see it all night. Most. Why won't a hitter adjust to that? Makes no sense. I don't know.
By the way, Mark Langhauser has chimed in, ladies and gentlemen. He is watching.
Wow. 5-year plan. Yep. Hey, there you go.
Hey, so you know what? And this is from my accountant, ladies and gentlemen. This is from my accountant.
Well, you talk about the strike zone. I saw a video, and it was with the Cardinals, and I think it was Cardinals in New York, and they were talking about different pitches that were hitting at the strike zone. The St. Louis, because the St. Louis was batting, and there was a pitch where it was right borderline. It gets called a ball. Now on the St. Louis broadcast, it's a ball. On the New York broadcast, it's a strike. And so you just never know. You just never know, again, across the board.
Yeah.
Who to believe?
No, right? There's a line there. You should know which one's which. Speaking of going into it, speaking of the Cardinals, we'll cover them for the last 2.5 minutes or whatever we got. The Cardinals, because they're winning. Hey, ever since we put out the show and talked about how much they suck, ever since that we put out the show of how much they sucked, not Ali Marmol getting tossed in Milwaukee, that had nothing to do with it. Everybody on the Cardinals organization watched our show and said, man, they're really talking about us.
You do realize that's the second time that the Cardinals have watched our show, because if you remember a couple years ago, Chris, you and I did that PowerPoint presentation on the cycle of the car. And then what happened?
They started winning.
I think they started winning.
When we
will take full credit.
When we retrofit a show and organize it to talk about how much they suck, it's like you've hit rock bottom. And now it's like, listen, these D-level media outlets who stream these podcasts are talking so much smack that we've got to do something about it. What can we do? Let's start winning. And they just start doing it. We
spend money.
Hey, we could talk about again. You want to go talk about the Cardinals later? We need to bring this back up because Mo had an interview, and it was interesting to actually hear him talk. We'll get into that later because I know Chris, you got your. What, you don't want to talk about it later?
Just go ahead and talk about it now.
Can we talk about Scottie Scheffler at some point?
Yeah, go. Zach, just go ahead. Yeah, I'm calling the audible. Omaha.
Okay, Omaha. All right.
Omaha.
So listening to his interview with the media today, or when they're talking about it, that's the first time I think ever that I've heard him talk, and he's a little defensive. It's just not bland. It's just not monotone. Like, he was a little perturbed. And it's like, look, we're doing what we can. And I mean, he was a little bit ticked off. And it was like, where's this guy been? Where's this guy been for all these years? Maybe, I mean, it was just interesting to see, like, maybe there's something there that you are on the hot seat and start doing your job better. And they've been winning. So I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Well,
Spend some money is number one.
Well, I mean, that's not his job. I mean, Billy Bean went and asked the owner, what can I spend? And or can we expand the payroll? Yeah, no.
I mean, but Billy Bean then turned around and put $250,000 on a pitcher and then got it back when they traded him the following year for a $400,000 kickback. You think Mo's going to do that? You think Mo's not smart enough to do that?
He did get the soda machine filled too. Just throwing it out there.
Yes, he did.
But
yes, he did.
The thing is, it all comes down to ownership wanting to spend money. And I listened to DeWitt talk about it's like, well, the fans they said they just won't come out. Like, well, how much money we invest from the money from attendance, how much it goes into the payroll. And that just doesn't seem like it's a very viable thing. Like, you know, if it sucks, nobody wants to watch it. Okay. It doesn't matter. You're hardcore fans. I don't want to watch them when they suck because it's not enjoyable. It's not entertainment. And I'm a diehard, lifelong Cardinals fan. Okay. And when you suck, you suck. I mean, just the way it is. If we were in New York and it's the Yankees, Steinbrenner was so proactive with the team. I, again, am worried about losing a generation of Cardinals fans that were like me. If they're not winning and it's not an enjoyable experience to go to the ballpark and nobody wants to go, then how do you get the younger kids back? How do you get them? How do you bring those fans? So again, I'm happy they're winning. No, yes. Todd Worrell is not coming back as closer to Ringhausen. Stick to some basketball. What are you talking about? Stop.
He wants to talk. He wants us to talk soccer.
What? Absolutely not. No.
Can I add something to what you're saying, Chris? And I agree with you. Yeah. But there is a deeper issue, and nobody will address it. Nobody wants to go to downtown St. Louis right now.
Well, I mean,
nobody. No, Jim, I won't. I refuse to
go there.
I mean, yes, I will go there. Because I'm old and I'm cranky and I don't care.
Well, but would that affect your 5-year plan?
Probably, but that's okay.
That could affect those goals.
Right.
I'm just saying.
But here's the thing. There's so much crap going on downtown. And the politicians won't do anything about it. I mean, there was something that came out that there were only 3 patrol cars out in downtown St. Louis last Saturday night. Memorial Day weekend. Only 3 cruisers were out between 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. That is the problem. You've got cars being broken into. I mean, you get people that are literally getting mugged 3 blocks away from Busch Stadium. I mean, I understand the one side of it. I get it, okay? But there's also another underlying issue with it, why people just don't want to go downtown. People go watch City because they don't have to go all the way down to downtown by the Arch. They'll go to the City because they know at least it's a little bit calmer up in that neck of the woods. But I'm telling you, I mean, if the Cardinals want to do something, they need to get to the mayor's administration. The Blues need to do the same doggone thing. The Battlehawks need to do the same doggone thing. They've got to figure out ways to keep people safe when they go down to these events downtown.
Well, I mean, you could put up big fences. I hear fences keep people out. It doesn't have to be like, the length of a state thing or, the border of the country. It's just,
just around downtown.
Guilty. Guilty.
I mean, you talk about making like downtown Village into an actual thing. It's like a damn amusement park. Let's just bring in all kinds of stuff. And hey, you want to talk about having lower crime at that point? I would say that would lower some crime. It really would.
I think he's talking about 34 yards of. Oh, never mind. That was bad. I should have gone there.
Wow.
You better go to a break before I say something stupid.
Yeah, I know. All right, we are Coach's Box. You might be watching it. I
Probably not
know at this point. If you're not.
I'm a bird stuck in Larry Bird's attic. And I'm going cuckoo.
What the heck?
What you got, Larry? May the best bird win. Rick. You may be a legend on the court, but you're an amateur up here. Heads up, Larry. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
On average, heating and cooling account for around 40% of your energy bills. Introducing the efficient Daikin Fit, a revolutionary HVAC system for ducted homes. While other units use considerable energy turning on and off, the Daikin Fit saves energy through consistent comfort control. It's the perfect fit for homes like yours. See the difference. Feel the benefits. Daikin Fit.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
Hey guys, if you've been in to check out the changes at Case and Buck's Grub and Pub, stop by, check us out. We've got awesome wings, we got great pizza, we got a steak sandwich, a steak salad. Holy cow, we got games, we've got lotto, we've got cold beer, we've got a little bit of everything. Stop by, check us out, check out the weekly specials, barbecue, pork steaks, yum. Harold's Market, thank you, my friends. Check us out. We are waiting for you.
That just ended so abruptly. But anyway, welcome back to the Coach's Box for our second segment.
It ends abruptly every week.
I know.
Every week it ends abruptly, Chris.
Yeah, and?
So I was thinking, as we were watching those commercials, and Jarvis kept repeating, do you think it's that way because, like, of the CTE, he just forgets? He says that everything's free, or
free for free.
That's right. It's free. That's what we want.
And I hate that he still uses that picture of Zach. I hate that he won't let us talk about soccer. Blaghauser wants to hear about soccer.
I don't care. Sorry.
Next.
This is my show. If you don't like it, get your own.
Yeah. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here.
Well, a lot of times you guys don't like it and you're not here.
Oh,
there you go.
Hey, where are we going? Hey, what deep undercover assignment were you on last week?
More your business.
Oh.
So anyway,
There it is.
hey, don't even start playing on the scoreboard here, Jim. You'll get your ass kicked.
No. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Why do you think I haven't?
Scoreboard?
I have not said. I have not said a word about Jarvis missing 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
You just
Speaking of scoreboard, Kevin's not here, so he can't defend himself. Hey, Kevin, 91 wins. Listen, I'm not good at math. I know this. This win percentage to get to 91 wins. Listen, the Cardinals would need to win 9 more in a row without losing 9, and then keep that the rest of the year. Yeah, 91 wins. Listen, they've been playing great. I don't buy it, Kevin. Sorry.
Hey, you know what happens? The July slump after the All-Star break.
Hey, we'll see.
I'm still holding it 75. I don't care. I'm still holding it 75. And they will not make the playoffs.
Why are we talking about the Cardinals?
We're done.
Thank you.
We're done.
I thought we were moving on.
Zach, I just wanted to let Kevin, who's not here again, let him know about his prediction and the math behind it. So
do the math, Kevin. Do the math.
Well, math might not be a strong suit, but
oh jeez,
I will say this: the suit of the cop who apparently thought that Scottie Scheffler was committing a crime.
Was his red pants?
Now that I don't know if policing is maybe that guy, because I think he was looking for a quick buck from a guy that one who makes a couple bucks, and proceeded to fabricate a lot of information that led to Scottie Scheffler being arrested at Valhalla. I guess that'd be like what, a week and a half ago now, or 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
I'm gonna lose.
It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow.
So
no, 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today.
The charges were dropped.
Yep.
So that what a cluster that turned out to be. I mean, what is this guy thinking besides what I just said? He's obviously trying to make a couple bucks and extort some money here or something. What is he trying to get?
No, I don't think it even goes that far, Chris. You have to understand. And listen, for those of this is knowledge, so this is stuff that you need to know your rights. And again, as a government teacher, we talk about your rights. The police are legally allowed to lie to you. Okay, they are legally allowed to lie to you. So that being said, you have to know your rights and protect your rights and use your rights. And I think that's what happened. I think it's, again, love the police, love everything that they do, keep us safe. But you know what? There's always a bottom 10%. You know, I've said that. There's always a bottom 10%. And human nature gets involved. And it's like, you know what? They overstep their bounds. They overstep their authority. I think that's just in this case. It's like, hey, I'm one of those guys that I'm wearing a badge and I'm going to overstep my bounds here and get away with it, because he may not have had a clue that it was Scottie Scheffler.
Oh, once again, no, hold on. We've already talked about this piece of
it.
You
were gone. Go watch the show.
When you have a car that is a tournament car, if you are a player driving it, you have a big P in the driver's seat front window. That is for everybody to know, all security, everybody. This is a player. They get to go in. Now, first off, yes, there was a tragedy before that. Everybody was on edge. I get it. I understand. But one officer told Scheffler to go through. The other officer, this was the perfect example of one leg, or one person not talking to the other, and then things get blown out of proportion and foobarred. So that's what happened. Okay. Now, number one, I'm going to flat out say this because I've already heard the rumblings. Valhalla, as much of a great course as it is, after this incident, not only with the spectator or the volunteer that was tragically killed by the shuttle bus, but because of the Scheffler thing, as good of a golf course as Valhalla is, they may not ever host another major tournament again. And that's a huge hit to Louisville. because when you get a big event like that, and we'll see it here in 2 years over, right here in West County, at Bell Reef when the PGA comes in. I mean, it's tens of millions of dollars of money that's coming in, whether it's restaurants, hotels, airport, whatever, bars. That's going to be a big hit because of one officer's not knowing, what's going on, one officer not doing the right thing and just saying, okay, I see the P, go ahead. Instead, public enemy number one is now this officer, and he's still kicking and screaming about the $80 pants that got ripped allegedly.
How'd he rip his pants?
I mean, did you?
I saw the video.
He is still saying that Scottie Scheffler drug him. And that did not happen.
That is, in fact, false.
Yeah, we saw the video.
So if you're Scottie, which I don't think he will, he's too much of a stand-up guy. If you're Scottie, do you make this a bigger deal? And do you say, hey, you know what, Louisville, here's a lawsuit?
No, he's already said he's not back. There's going to be no more. It's over. It's done with. His lawyer, basically said, no ill will. It's over. It's in the past. We're done. The officer threw the lawyer under the bus and, said all the right things about Scottie, but listen, Scottie Scheffler, and if you haven't had a chance to go on Netflix and watch Full Swing, you have to go watch this season of it. Mm-hmm. It is really, really good. And it shows a lot about what Scottie Scheffler really is. And, when his wife, his wife's pregnant, they just had their baby a couple weeks ago, but at the Masters, he kept saying, listen, I don't care if I'm winning or not. It could be Sunday afternoon and I'm on the 10th tee with a 5-stroke lead. That buzzer, that beeper goes, I'm out. I'm going. And he has steadfastly said that it's family, faith, then golf. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of guy Scottie Scheffler really, truly is. And, Full Swing was really, really cool with all that stuff. And they had some stuff about Rory on it. Now, Rory's got his own little 3-ring circus going on with the divorce papers being served and then rumblings of him and, the former Amanda Renner, now Amanda Battalonis, who's the interviewer for the PG. So, but there's some really good stuff on Full Swing, but the Scottie Scheffler stuff was really, really cool.
Do you think that he gave her an exclusive interview one-on-one?
I believe we did. Yes, Zach. Yes, I know we talked a little bit about it, but there's been more things that we needed to talk more about it. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just saying, I think that
I'm going to leave now.
Are you saying Rory was given private lessons?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
private lessons. Like Stormy Daniels gave private lessons. Oh, never mind. Did I go down that road?
Like Giselle Butchin's jiu-jitsu instructor. I'm just saying, man, that's he must be really good at.
Hey, you talk about now. Listen, this is you.
No, I don't. I haven't.
You haven't watched
so
that. If you have not watched that,
no, it's one of the things I did not. I told you I didn't put it on here because I have not watched it all. You have to be in the right frame of mind to watch it.
Watch what?
The Tom Brady roast.
Yes.
I have not. No, I have not watched it yet. I've seen the bits and pieces, but
you need to watch it. I need to finish it. But
is that watching it with a bottle of bourbon and a cigar? That way,
whatever you're doing, make sure you have no ability to choke from laughing so much. Because I mean, I was coughing. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. Yeah, so don't want to jump into that one necessarily right now. That could be bad, very bad. But I definitely want to move on to our next. And real quick, the passing of NBA Hall of Famer Bill Walton.
Yes,
I mean, talk about documentaries. The documentary on Walton was so good. 3-part documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yeah, it was good.
It's very good.
Very good.
And I know Bill Walton got a lot of people criticize him for his analysis. I enjoy listening to him. I don't want to hear a color commentary guy just be like, fly ball caught,
Right?
yeah, that was great. And
That's good.
You want somebody who's, I don't mind them going down a rabbit hole and having a discussion. Sometimes when you're watching a game, it's not as entertaining as listening to somebody talk about the game or a game or a story. Or what the hell are you doing, Jim?
I'm killing a cicada that got in the house. Darn it.
They're kind of a big thing right now, Chris. I don't know if you
Yeah,
heard.
they is. They're about this big, and they make a lot of noise.
Bro, I have a
there
farm.
it goes. I knew that was coming.
Don't even act like I don't know what the hell those things are or how loud they can be. You yuppies up here who have like one tree, and they're all in this one tree, and they're just making a little bit of noise. You guys are like, oh my gosh, I can't sound out of my deck. Awful. And then you're surrounded by freaking trees everywhere. It's like tree, freaking tree, another freaking tree, a whole freaking forest. And you know what's in those things? Cicadas, locusts, and they're just like having this conversation all the freaking time. So yeah,
Well, it's not
I know what they are.
Chris.
It's saying. And it's loud. It's louder than you guys in your one damn tree out here in your yards. So I don't want to hear about it. Take your sad story somewhere else.
I don't have a tree in my backyard anymore after the storm for a few weeks
Well, then
ago.
you should have a problem with
there it
cicadas
is.
then. I don't know what to tell you. It's the most useless bug ever.
I don't mind it. I like it. I'll go sit outside and just listen. And everybody's like, "There, it's too loud," or "It's it." No, I don't. I mean, I'm half deaf anyway, but it's nice.
Well, I'm aware. Zach, what do you think we should run? Zach, you're crap. You know that?
Boy,
Zach,
yes, ladies and gentlemen. Did somebody say off the rails? Yep, ladies and gentlemen, it has happened.
Part of the tagline, anyway. But again, Bill Walton. I mean, it's such a loss. And hate anybody losing their life to cancer and losing their battle. But
cancer sucks.
Yes, it does. I will have to say that I do appreciate, the what he gave to the game of basketball. I mean, it's just a great thing that he got to live his life his way. And speaking of living his way,
my
look who's joining us. Another state.
Talking about Louisville. Talking about Louisville. There he is, down in Louisville.
Dude, Jill's got a parade around everywhere, trying to figure out where she's going to go to school. So,
I mean, it's an important thing, Dad. Jeez,
come on, Dad.
Get together, man. Hey, way to represent. You're wearing your coach's box shirt. Look at you.
Well, I wore today down on the tour, man.
Did you have anybody ask what that is?
Nope.
I'm just hey, they already knew.
I don't have any headphones, so it's straight from the speaker here.
That's all good.
Oh boy, Jillian, plug your ears. Here we go.
Chris, get the dump button.
What, are you kidding me? She lives with Jarvis. What do you think she's heard?
Oh, yeah, she knows what goes on.
She's probably using the words herself.
She does. I know that.
Whoa! You don't have to throw her under the bus like that. I just said probably. Jim's over here like, yeah. Hating on a kid, Jim. Come on.
I'm old, I'm cranky, and I don't care.
And you don't know how to use
you're old, cranky. You might be the most negative person on the show.
No.
Might be. I don't think there's any question. No.
I hope Zach's right above me.
No way. No. Not this guy here. It is definitely Jim Klaus. Or Jim Powers. I said Klaus. Why is it Klaus? I just mentioned him to somebody today.
I am positive about a lot of stuff. I'm positive about City FC. I'm positive about soccer this weekend. I'm positive about certain beverages.
Are you
I'm positive.
What?
Soccer?
No. I was about. If you would've
Langhauser's
said one
already
more
asked
thing
me
about
3.
it- No. Jim's about ready
Langhauser's
to
already
close
asked 3
tonight.
times if we could talk soccer tonight, and I keep
Langhauser
saying
start
no.
his own damn show, and he can talk about it. There you go.
He texted me the other night and said, "I can't believe they're talking about soccer."
I don't know.
You weren't
Yeah.
there.
Wasn't there.
You two weren't there.
You two weren't there, so me, Zach, and Kevin, free reign.
I didn't talk. I sat and listened. The inmates were running the asylum. I don't know.
Well,
And Zach learned an awfully lot in that 15-minute conversation.
He obviously didn't retain any of it, so
Oh gosh.
depth of knowledge was pretty shallow right there. Apparently,
Oh,
using the DOK
boy.
wheel, you guys really sucked. So DOK won. Should have just used true false.
Below
while you're at it,
basic.
too.
Below basic.
Zach, what do you know about
Wow.
soccer? All right, good talk. Hey. So Jarvis, let's get your thoughts here. You know, we were just in the middle of talking about Bill Walton passing away. You know, what was your thoughts on you know, Bill Walton and his well, I mean, you were around whenever he did play, but at the same time, you've watched enough NBA and to listen to his him being a color analyst.
I mean, he's one of those guys you either hated him or liked him. I think
I
when
agree
you
with that.
listen to his games, and I'm not gonna lie, I was on the hate side until I watched. Was it his 30 for 30? I think
There
they
you go.
did.
See? There you go.
And I watched that and was like, well, you know what? I like the dude a lot better. And you have to admire all the contributions he made with basketball.
Yes.
I mean, he was a Hall of Famer. He was a great college player too. It's not like he was just a great NBA player. And I mean, maybe he wasn't the greatest announcer or analyst, but he was entertaining.
Yes,
that's what you want. And you think about big men in college and in the NBA. Imagine if he's not hurt, what type of career that he could have had he stayed healthy. I mean, again, you talk about the documentary. I just remember him sitting, not really playing that much, but sitting on the Celtics bench, you know, watching Larry Bird and everybody else win championships, and him kind of getting his minutes here and there. But going back to his Trailblazer days, and I mean, he was a man amongst boys for a while, and I mean, again, going all the way back to UCLA. So, yeah, if he could have stayed healthy, and maybe we're having a different conversation about who's one of the top big men in all of NBA history.
Well, from people that were obviously around and watching play in college, I mean, my dad's like, he's probably the best college basketball player he's ever seen. And I will say this, he probably played the best basketball game anybody's ever played at the college level, as far as a perfect game, missing one shot and scoring.
I think Christian Laettner would have something to say about that.
I'll give it said, okay, he wasn't a part of the UCLA dynasty. Okay, you and your Duke, just shut up.
I agree, Langhauser. You are correct.
Oh, let's see if we're going to get. Oh, gosh. I will say this about Bill Walton, and yes, I remember him in the, the NBA and all that stuff. Oh, gosh. Langhauser's the one drinking tonight. But I loved Bill Walton on the Pac-12 games on ESPN. Him and Dave Pasch. They were just, I mean, and, you know, Dave Pasch is a very straightforward play-by-play guy. But the bottom line is he knew when to let Bill Walton just go and do what Bill Walton does, and that's talk basketball.
Ramble on like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why I couldn't stand to watch him sometimes. He just
but I loved it. I mean, he would say some great stuff, and you know what? It would make you think a little bit. I mean, it was just so cool to watch those Pac-12 games on ESPN on Wednesday or Thursday nights, and that's where I mean, just hearing him, and the 30 for 30 was terrific. Another thing, if you haven't had a chance to watch,
awesome. You got to see that if you haven't. Yes. That really changed my mind on Bill Walton. And, you know, classic basketball guy, dedicated his life to basketball. I mean, you know,
He lived his life the way he wanted to, no matter what. That's just how he was.
I don't know if you guys talked about it before, but Bill Walton went to the one coach or whatever, the guy's yard and got some of his dirt. Did you see that part?
I'm trying to remember how it went about.
How it exactly went, but it was awesome. The way he talked about it, I was like, wow. So, there's some things. Hey, Powers, you keep blowing that up. I can't see what's going on here.
I'm not blowing anything up. Golly.
Our private chat is great sometimes. And then
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I think Langhauser's right with that. Bill Walton didn't make excuses. He just played the game.
Yes.
When he was physically able to play, he played. And again, I agree with Zach. What could have been, but I mean that's part of it. When you get in the Hall of Fame with as injury riddled of a career as he had, it only proves just how good he was when he wasn't hurt. That's just the way it is. Back when the Hall of Fame actually meant something in basketball, and they don't just give it to Dino Rajo. Like, why the hell is that guy in the Hall of Fame?
Who?
Dino Raja. He's played for the Celtics. Yeah. Ooh, great. I mean, you get my point here. But we're gonna go ahead and hit our next commercial break here. Powers is gonna go because he's got to play with his computer.
It's got work to do.
Clear your browser history when you're done, Jim.
It's not in incognito mode.
That doesn't help anyway. You can ask the experts, Jim.
It's a DOS laptop. It won't work.
Does he have to play with his floppy disk?
Boy, Zach, I can go somewhere, but I'm not going there. No.
Yeah, hey, that was really floppy when you were.
Hey, it's not going to be very floppy when it's only 3.5. So anyway, we're going to head to a break. You're watching the Coach.
See you next week, boys.
I'm a bird stuck in Larry Bird's attic. And I'm going cuckoo.
What the heck?
What you got, Larry? May the best bird win. Rick. You may be a legend on the court, but you're an amateur up here. Heads up, Larry. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
On average, heating and cooling account for around 40% of your energy bills. Introducing the efficient Daikin Fit, a revolutionary HVAC system for ducted homes. While other units use considerable energy turning on and off, the Daikin Fit saves energy through consistent comfort control. It's the perfect fit for homes like yours. See the difference. Feel the benefits. Daikin Fit.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
Hey guys, if you've been in to check out the changes at Case & Buck's Grub and Pub, stop by, check us out. We've got awesome wings. We got great pizza. We got a steak sandwich, a steak salad. Holy cow, we got games. We've got lotto. We've got cold beer. We've got a little bit of everything. Stop by, check us out. Check out the weekly specials. Barbecue, pork steaks, yum. Harold's Market, thank you, my friends. Check us out. We are waiting for you.
just ends. I got to fix that. I don't know why it does it. Anyway, welcome back to our third and final segment of the Coach's Box. Call it like we see it podcast. You are watching this on Facebook or YouTube or on Twitch, and you're doing it all for the absolute low price of free, as Jarvis showed us in between our last two segments during the commercial. Really great,
Big
Jason.
Red.
Good job. My gosh. Can't. But if you like our show, you can go back and watch all of our stuff. Hang on, Jason, before your ADD kicks in. And you can watch it all for free on YouTube, Facebook, or if you want to listen to it, you can listen to it on Apple and Spotify for free. Jason, you are drinking Big Red.
Yeah, every time I come down this way, I get me some Big Red. Good stuff.
I'm going to say that I have had 0 Big Reds in my life.
This is a Big Red Zero, and it's good.
Is it? Can you bring one back for me?
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to buy some. Terlin's already mad at me because I've been drinking it. But
it's 0. What's she gonna be mad at you for? It's 0.
Because I'm drinking it, she can't.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
hers is what's yours.
Can't have it. What she can't have, they got.
Yeah, that's true. What's hers is not yours, and what's yours is hers. So. Follow me for more marriage advice.
I was gonna say, hold on. What?
Shut up. All right, and so big news, I guess, in the world of baseball. It's the stat book has been expanded, and it's going to have a different look starting officially now. And the changes took place Wednesday, which was yesterday, when the Major League Baseball announced that the Negro League stats from 7 different Negro Leagues from 1920 to 48 have been officially added to historical records. So that's all been put in there. There's been some of the barnstorming teams were not added, and then some stats at the end when there was only a couple teams. They were not. But this kind of goes along with Major League Baseball recognizing some other leagues that were real early in baseball. Probably when Jim Powers was alive back in the 1800s, when he helped start baseball. But it's kind of going along with that, and now there's some different people leading different stat categories. The big one being Josh Gibson, now having the highest career batting average, overtaking Ty Cobb's 367 batting average with his 372. Guys, I mean, it's small, but at the same time, it's not for this to happen. And what's your thoughts on this?
Jarvis, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, nobody? Like nothing?
It's interesting. I do think these guys need to be acknowledged for things they've done. The accuracy of what was done is what worries me with the stats from back then. And they aren't counting some of them because of when they were, and I don't know all the particulars. I didn't read into it too much, to be honest with you, but
at least you're honest about it.
No, I mean, I haven't. I just haven't had time the last week it's been a busy week. We had family in all week. So, and then I've been running around. I was at Purdue earlier and Louisville tomorrow. And yeah, she really likes Cincy though. So great. But anyway, it's good that we're recognizing these guys. It's hard for me meshing the two together, I guess, is complicated to me anyway.
Zach, what's your thoughts?
It's definitely, I mean, it's interesting. They talked a little bit about, the Negro League Hall of Fame out in Kansas City. I think that's something that I like to do besides Cooperstown at some point, to get out there just to see the history of the game. I don't understand why they're leaving some stats out. So I know Kevin was talking a little bit about, like, Hank Aaron has some home runs that are going to be omitted from the collection. So I don't know why, if you're going to put those stats in, why not all of them? Why is there not a cumulative effect of everybody that played?
They said some of it was because the competition was down, because there were teams not in there. and some other stuff that may have inflated the numbers in certain years or something. I don't know. I think it's a complicated. The whole thing's complicated when it gets to all that. To me,
Well, here's the thing too. This whole move isn't even over. Reading about it, researchers estimate that the 1920 to 48 Negro Leagues records are about 75% complete. So they could update. They're looking at possibly updating this in the future as they compile and pull out more historical records that they keep kind of coming up with. I think the problem that we have is everything is counted in baseball now. I mean, the launch angle and whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I would say it's not just the Negro Leagues back then that probably are not 1,000% accurate. I still question some of the stuff in baseball, in Major League Baseball, and back in that day as well, because of how things were ran. I mean, what? Come on now. I mean, it's hard to find a high school that has the records of the sports that are the most dominant sports in their school. What do you think in these baseball teams that were just what I mean, it's not like it is today when it's chartered planes or whatever. These guys like jumped in the back of a truck and rode across the country to go play games sometimes.
Well, the fact that you said brought up barnstorming, I mean, that's just right there. Or go back to again, and I don't know what they call the modern era. I mean, Chris, you probably know is a trivia question because it's before 1980. But like when they started talking about, from the 1800s into the turn of the century, and why would you not include all of that with the history of the game? Why? Okay, well, in the modern era versus not. So, I mean, everything. Go ahead.
I with Chris, him bringing up, like, I can't even find stats, from Herky from in basketball. Like, we've had so much turnover as coaches, and from coach to coach, the information has not been, passed down. Like, I know for sure from what's been kept on STL today. So since 1999, I know the stats. But before that, your guess is as good as mine.
Right. I mean, you got to think too, with adding these statistics to the mix. And again, this could all change as more as they dig into more stuff. But Josh Gibson, who was a catcher in the Negro Leagues and played 653 games, took over the top spot in career batting average, career slugging percentage, and career OPS. And he only hit 174 home runs. Now, his Hall of Fame plaque actually says he might have hit 800. So when his Hall of Fame plaque says that he might have hit 800 and they have the record down as 174, there might be some discrepancy. I mean, it kind of shows that there might be something that's not quite accurate. That is my worry on things.
Difference.
There's a couple. It's just a couple. I'm going to be teaching math this year, so I would have to say this might be one of those things we break out and say, tell me the difference here between how far apart these numbers
greater
are.
Than.
I mean, let's look at this and see what we can come up with.
You missed the chuckle in the background when you said you're going to be teaching math, and it wasn't me.
Listen, when your daughter turns 18, I'm going to roast her so bad it's not even funny. Just so she's aware, and I know she's listening. But anyway, I do think the discrepancy between what is the actual statistics and what is thought of. And
that's tough. What I was kind of getting at with these statistics. We just, I don't know.
I mentioned it. Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. Finish.
A lot of people aren't upset about Ty Cobb getting beat, I'm sure. But
I don't think anybody. Well, there's a certain group of people who aren't upset about that. I mean, and I'll just say, Ty Cobb was questionably and arguably one of the biggest racists of his time, on top of being a complete jagoff, if you want to say. I mean, he's just I love the way he played in a sense. He just wanted to win, but he took it to extremes a little bit. But the game was played differently back then too. I mean, gosh, how many fights do you think Ty Cobb would have got into in the 70s and 80s, the way he slid in the second?
How many times do you think he'd been thrown out so far? More than Bryce Harper?
I'm pretty sure he would have beat the hell out of Angel Hernandez. It's not even a question. He'd have an assault charge. He wouldn't have got all those hits because he wouldn't have been playing. Again, different times. But when I read about it, and it was on Twitter a little bit, people were saying, well, so where's Ichiro stats? And Twitter's tweet X or whatever, it always wins. It said, I can't find him in the Negro leagues. I was like, dang, man. But Ichiro, I mean, everybody talks about Ichiro stats in the Japanese league, and now is that the next step of the evolution of us looking at those things and adding those in. I like what basketball does when you have the players who played in the ABA and the NBA. If you look at Sports Reference, and I know it's not the Elias Sports Bureau, they have two different sets of your records. Technically three, because you have your NBA only, you have your NBA plus your ABA, and then you have your ABA stats. I personally wish baseball would do that. And I'm not saying it's an asterisk, but I'm saying it's a look at what we have. We have our Major League Baseball. We have these other leagues, and it's not just the Negro leagues. It's the other leagues that helped develop the MLB at the, when it all started. And let's put them all together. But let's also look at what it is separate, just because to me, it gives you a better idea of what we have as far as baseball and stats. I love statistics. I used to look at the back of basketball, baseball, football cards just to see, that information, because I thought it was cool, because you get them every year and you look at how the guys did that you watch play. But statistics are, they're the basis of information for us to judge how good somebody is at their craft, at their sport. So in my opinion, it is a big deal when they make big changes to statistics overall.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Again, where's the line? Are you going to? It's an international game. I mean, Major League Baseball now is an international game. So again, are you going to do the KBA? Or are you going to do whatever else? And when you say this is the defined league, association, program, whatever, those stats have to, again, Chris, I like your idea of saying, hey, we're going to blend it, we can meld it together, but here's everything that's kind of on the books.
Go ahead, Jarvis. You're just sitting there staring off into space.
I was multitasking.
Oh gosh.
But
what do they do? What do they do with football? What do they do with football?
As far as
I guess before the
you guys are talking about stuff I don't know about.
What
the merger?
I believe they have. I don't know what.
That's something we'll have to look at.
I don't know.
A research department will have to do that.
But I don't. I don't know statistics at all.
Because that was the whole point, Namath, right? Super Bowl I or whatever it was, doing the guarantee, and because it was the two leagues merged together, and they didn't think that the Jets stood a chance, and yada yada yada.
I think because the leagues merged, like all the teams were taken from the AFL and put into the NFL. So the difference between that and say the ABA was there's only 4 teams taken. The Tropics didn't make it. Sorry, Jackie Moon. And the Spirits didn't make it either. But
those owners Those owners, man.
Well, they did okay, but I think that's the difference. I believe that from what I'm looking at, I believe the NFL stats are all together because of that, because those leagues merge together. So in essence, you're the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they were always part of the NFL per se, or pro football. The difference for no Negro were taken and put into Major League Baseball. It was just when you guys folded, we're just going to get your players, and that's just how it went. So I think that's the difference, because it wasn't necessarily that competition, and the AFL and the NFL did play for 4 years, one time each. So yeah, they played each other. Moving Marvin Barnes, man. There you go. Ron Rhodes with a shout out here. Ron, what was the Negro Leagues like? I'm sure you got a chance to watch those games from the stands. Anyway,
hey,
nobody
I'm just
jumped in on that.
Ron Rhodes baseball reference, and it isn't Matt Carpenter.
He did hit a home run, and he's up to 2 total between spring training and the season. So I'm feeling pretty confident about the 15 home run bet that I have with him.
I'm still surprised he's done as well as he has.
Carpenter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something about being in St. Louis.
Has he done well? Heck, he's only had about, I bet he hadn't had 20 at bats.
Well, then that helps, because you're not overexposed being as terrible as he is. Right? I mean, I'm just thinking, logically here.
I haven't heard anything about his salsa. Oh, we know you watch Bill Walton. We know.
Well, I mean, Carpenter is hitting 250. So, that's better than most of the guys on the team.
1 for 4. 1 for 4.
I mean,
he's had 43 plate appearances.
You shot a basketball at a peach basket, Ron Rhodes. I mean, come on.
Had to have a jump ball the whole time. That time he scored.
Every time.
Do you think Ron had to have trash bags over him while he practiced? You think he had to wear?
Why are we bringing this up?
Because it's funny. Because
why?
Hey, we could bring it. I'm sure he didn't have to reach up in a cow like the other guys.
That's fair,
right?
That's fair. I'll go with it.
Which DeSoto coach we want to talk about here?
Gosh, well, there's so many jokes with that one too. Anyway,
I bet you and Naismith were buds, Ron.
Gosh. So moving on and talk about basketball, and we'll finish up the show on the NBA, which isn't necessarily basketball, but it is basketball. And it's the most exciting.
Not basketball anymore.
Well, but the NBA playoffs have been entertaining. I will say that. The games in the conference final, I mean, have been fairly competitive. Obviously, the Celtics winning in a sweep over Indiana, who should have never been there. But they did their best, and they gave Boston some games. But I'll tell you what, the Mavericks look pretty good, guys. They really do.
Well, looking at them right now, they're up 97-73 with about 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And I mean, at one point, looking at it, they had a 30-point lead. So I mean, you're gonna have 2 good teams, and obviously some star power coming out in the NBA Finals. And listen, you can say what you want. Whether you love him, you hate him, but Mark Cuban, listen to how he transformed that organization and the things that he has done. He is a player's owner. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna bring guys here. I'm gonna want to have guys here.
Money to bring guys there.
He's gonna spend money.
I agree. I think of it. I don't think it matters. Dallas is winning. I don't think even though I like Tatum and I like the way
Brown?
Brown and the way they've been playing, and then the guards shooting lights out in the playoffs. I just don't think that Kyrie and Doncha, whatever, Luka can be stopped. I just don't think they can.
Well, okay. So here's my question: as you guys basketball coaches here, break down for me again. Jarvis just brought up a couple names. How do you go about defending the core guys? The guy, how are you going to defend a Tatum? How are you going to defend a Kyrie? How are you going to defend Luka? Because obviously the other programs have not been able to do that. How do you go about doing that if you're either Boston or Dallas?
Well, the only thing the number one thing that you can do to defend and to keep them from scoring in the game is when their bus is heading from wherever they're staying, you shoot the tires out while they're driving, hope that the bus doesn't make it and they possibly don't make it to the game.
I mean, Brown and Tatum are a good duo too, but who's going to guard Kyrie?
Here's the thing about. Go ahead, Jason. Finish your point.
Kyrie's just been. He's just been awesome. I don't see who can stop him on the Celtics.
I was gonna say, is there somebody that says I'll forego any offense and I'll just try and just shut him down defensively? Is that? I mean, again, what would be your game plan?
Can't do that. He's tall. I don't know. I don't think there is.
Well, I look at it like this. I mean, the thing about the Mavericks that make it just incredible is how all of a sudden they figured out. You watch them play when Luka has the ball and they set a ball screen for him. He will find anybody and get them the ball. They move the ball extremely well. You talk about looking for the breakdown off the ball screen. He is a matchup nightmare. He's 6'7". He looks like a fat white dude who plays at the Y. He has game like a fat white dude who plays at the Y, who can shoot it, little step back shots that piss you off when they go in. Like I'm all over you and you still made that shot. He can do that. He finds his teammates. He's a heck of a passer. I mean, right now he is the best player in the league. Okay? Because he's unguardable. No, there is nobody in the NBA who can guard him. And he's proven it throughout the playoffs. He's just tall enough. He's too big. He's too wide. He can shoot it from wherever. He can get inside, and he finds dudes, and they're hitting shots because he makes them open.
That's the key. Washington has been draining,
but they're open. Look at the difference, and all of a sudden the Mavericks are playing better team defense. They chased Minnesota off the 3-point line. They didn't get those wide open looks when they're catching the ball. They've got guys running at them, so they're dribbling. They're dribbling in. Next thing you know, the next guy slides over. They're shooting at 15 feet, and they're not getting inside like they are. And then when they do, it's like there's everybody around them. So they're not there and double teaming Anthony Edwards, just randomly double teaming. He isn't able to find anybody. How many times does he get double teamed and it's like boom, boom, oh, easy bucket? You go double team Luka, he's finding the dude that's open every single time. And if you bring your big up to help, they dump it into the bigs. The bigs have been playing outstanding for Dallas. Lively's been playing. They're playing at a high level. It starts with him. Then when Luka's on the bench, here comes Kyrie. Okay, and they all go to their spots. They watch him. I'm going to go. This is where I'm going to score. Kyrie goes to his spots all the time. Every time when he's looking for a bucket, here's where I'm going to go. He's finding guys. He's also scoring. I mean, he's had a resurgence since he came to Dallas. And ironically enough, it's Jason Kidd who's put all of this together. Milwaukee's fired like 3 dudes since they had Kidd, and they've let three guys go who are a lot better than Doc Rivers.
All right.
Jason Kidd looks like one of the smartest dudes out there right now.
So here's my question. Does Dallas hold the edge because they can actually run an offense? And the reason why I say that is I have watched a little bit of Boston, and you know Tatum and ISO are synonymous. You've got the mid-range, they're going to run the ISO game, they're going to get how many one-on-ones. Brown's kind of the same thing. Obviously, Chris, you just kind of did the breakdown with Dallas's offense. So do you give the reason why, if you're going to say Dallas is the favorite, because of Jason Kidd and the fact that, hey, they might run a better team style of offense than Boston, and Boston might potentially, if they're not on, then everything's going to get bogged down with one-on-one ISO ball.
I'll just say that the thing that will make it hard to beat Boston is when they are on, they have better shooters. Defensively, the team defense has been all Dallas all the way. I mean, their defense has been the best of the four teams that have been left that made the conference finals. Before that, I would have said that Denver or Minnesota, but Minnesota's not able to guard these guys. And Dallas, I mean, everybody said like, oh, Anthony Edwards, I mean, he's coming and he's doing this. Like, he hasn't done anything really this series. He's had a couple big moments, but they've held him in check. It starts with them double teaming him. And what happens when Tatum gets double teamed? Can he find guys? I mean, he has the size, obviously, that Edwards does not have, and maybe the athleticism, but that's not really his game. I mean, he's not the guy. He's not a facilitator of the offense like Luka is. And I think that's gonna be something that's gonna be tough. But then on top of that, man, Dallas will find a way to get to the line. Watch how many times they made Minnesota foul all. I mean, I can't remember which game it was. It might have been game 2 or 3. It was a free throw contest in the second half, like third quarter. There's no flow because you're foul. There's so many fouls, and Boston doesn't play as good a defense as Minnesota. So are those guys going to be in foul trouble? Is there going to be flow? Will they be able to get a chance to shoot the ball a little bit? I like Dallas in the finals. It's not a popular opinion with people who are Jason Tatum fans. I get that. But, man, I'll tell you what, they are playing so well right now, and they were the 5th seed in the Western Conference. I mean, they had 50 wins, but, man, they are playing at such a high level. The defense is doing its job, and those two guys are so hard to stop. I don't see anybody for Boston stopping them. I really don't. And they get to the line. I mean, that's the thing. They shoot free throws because they are drawing fouls. I mean, Luka will make you foul him. I know he flops and he jaw jacks all the time. And the worst thing and the only thing I hate about the guy's game is the fact that he bitches and moans all the time to officials and everything. He can talk as much trash to guys as he wants. I love that. But man, if he gets away with so much crap.
School of basketball, right?
Well, it's a European style of the game. I mean, come on, it's just what they do. Ask Coach Kurtovic. That's Kurtovic. Excuse me. I want to say it right in case he's peeking at the show, saying I never get his name right. But yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts. I think it's gonna be Dallas in 6. Jason, are you awake?
I'm awake, man. I've drove over 10 hours today. I'm dragging.
It's probably 10:30 over there if he's in Louisville.
It is 10:36 here. Yeah,
right here. This is the magical cure for that.
And
that
I'm
driving.
not doing the energy drinks, man.
I'm just telling you, it helps.
Nope.
It gives you wings. It gives you wings.
Gives you heart palpitations.
I've had 4 energy drinks in the last 4 months or 3 months. Yeah.
Good job. Well, why don't you give your take on this while we're at it, and having the show and a podcast and people are maybe 1 or 2 people watching.
My take on what? The Dallas and Boston?
Yeah.
I think Dallas wins.
Well,
I mean, I just don't think Kyrie and Luka could be stopped.
okay.
And
that was deep, man. It was real
Does
deep.
Kyrie? Okay, I'll ask this just because if it doesn't go well for Dallas early, does Kyrie have a mental meltdown? Has he matured as a basketball player, as a leader, or is there? Huh?
He gonna have a mental. What meltdown is he gonna have?
I'm asking. He's had early on in his career, he's had friction, and so again, that's the whole.
Early on in his career, he helped LeBron win a championship. He hit the game-winning shot.
Wait.
I mean,
He brought the championship to Cleveland. Let's be real here. He did.
And he was, anyway, my point is that he is a polarizing player. Okay. And so does he stick with it? Does he have, again, if things don't go well, is it a situation where the team has good enough chemistry to stick together? Or I just look at it.
I think him and Luka have great chemistry. You watch those two interact. You watch them at press conferences. They're actually hilarious.
Yeah.
And I just no. I think he's past that. I think they even did a whole segment on him the other night, and they talked to him about that, and he talked about how much he has matured as a player since when he was with LeBron.
Well, when he made all those stops, Brooklyn and Boston and whatever else, I mean, he kind of wore out his welcome. He was a part-time player. I mean, COVID and do I get the shot? Do I not? And whatever else. And I mean, he has his views and stuff, and as anybody walking around does, but he's on a bigger stage and, has to make those decisions. So I think he has come a long way. He is kind of an odd dude. He went to Duke, so that automatically makes him a little bit odd. But
because he only went for a year. Had he stayed 4 years, he'd have been all right.
Been even more odd, like Leitner. But anyway, I do think that right now, I mean, he's at the top of his game. He's probably better than he was when he was at Cleveland, and obviously Doncic is on another level. Here's a fun question for you guys. Do you guys realize that Luka Doncic was not drafted by Dallas?
Who was he drafted by?
He was drafted 3rd overall by the Atlanta Hawks. Do you know who he was traded for?
Trae Young.
Trae Young, 5th pick. Trae Young and a future first-round pick that ended up being another Dookie. Who is the Dookie? Come on.
For the Hawks.
Oh, come on. Yep. I'll give you a hint. He doesn't even play there anymore.
No.
Can't.
Reddish, yep.
I wouldn't know.
Who got the better end of that trade?
Yeah.
Dallas or Atlanta? What do you guys think? I mean, who do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I think people say that Trae Young fills it up, but his size is always going to be a question. And again,
Dallas got the better end of this. There's no doubt.
Sure. I mean, that's because Luka's been a pro since what, 15, 16 years old, and
13.
13. So there you go.
Started playing professional ball at the age of 13. I mean, he's been playing basketball at a professional level right now longer than a lot of dudes' careers have even been. I mean, let's be real here. He played in the highest European league that the next step would be somewhere, like the NBA. So, I mean, and he was the most valuable player of that league.
Right. How old is he? Has he been a professional now longer than he hasn't been a professional?
He's 24.
Oh, okay. So he's got
he's still in his prime, I mean, but he's been playing
10 years easy in his prime.
Well, I mean, but he's been playing professional ball for 11 years. He's 24 years old. It's insane what he's been able to do and how good he is. I mean, He's a 5-time NBA All-Star. I'm pretty sure he's been All-NBA 5 times. And I don't think there's been very many guys who've been All-NBA that many times in their first 6 years. So, so the Atlanta Hawks have the first overall pick. There's the betting odds right now of who the Hawks will take with the first pick. You know who's starting to climb up on the odds? How about Bronny James?
Just for LeBron?
Because of having the opportunity to get LeBron James. I'm pretty sure the odds are it's like there's a 34% chance that they will draft Bronny James because they want Atlanta, who has the top pick, because they want to get LeBron for a year. I think that's probably the stupidest idea ever. But
I was gonna say, so you're gonna use the number 1 draft pick for LeBron for a year. So
makes a lot of sense.
Golly.
They are talking about
how much have they won? How much?
I heard Dallas may be in play for Bronny.
Whoever gets him is going to get LeBron and a free agent. Now, Skip Bayless went out and said that he doesn't think that LeBron's going to leave the Lakers. God, if the Lakers get Bronny James, Jason, I am going to just absolutely trash the Lakers every single time I get a chance to. Because
you'll have to. I mean,
they are so dumb.
I might have to defect. It's so bad. I've rooted for him my entire life that I can remember, and LeBron James is going to ruin the franchise.
Well, I mean, they really haven't done a whole lot outside of winning in a bubble that nobody got to see.
That's what I'm saying. He's already headed to ruins, and now this is just going to make – I hope, please, someone else draft that kid so that LeBron gets out of L.A.
What would happen if, not that to use the word collusion, but okay, what if nobody drafted him?
He'll go sign where he wants then.
Who would sign him?
Somebody is going to draft him just because of what LeBron James has said. Okay? Somebody will draft him.
You got to have room for him. You got to have cap room.
You can put him on a rookie deal. He won't.
No,
you talking about LeBron?
Yeah.
Somebody will make room. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
At what point is LeBron able to say I can play for the league minimum? That's the question I would have to ask.
Take the Tom. Hey, if he was smart, he'd take the Tom Brady approach, take less money, and then should have won a bunch of rings. I mean,
but he didn't do it.
No,
he's LeBron. He's not going to do that.
I just don't know if you.
I am the GOAT. I am the GOAT. No, you're not.
Self-proclaimed, obviously.
He is not the GOAT. He'd never be the GOAT. There's only one GOAT, and his initials are MJ.
Magic Johnson. You're right.
Now, Magic Johnson's in my top 5, yes. So a little thing with the teams that all these people have been posting all over social media, and there's only one team that has Michael Jordan, but it also has Magic Johnson on it, and it's like, pick your best team. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Put MJ and 4 chumps, and I'm picking that team, and I don't care what the other combinations are of Hall of Fame players. If MJ's on the team and it's say it's all Hall of Famers.
All Hall of Famers.
It's the team with MJ, though. That's the team I'm taking, no
Hold
matter.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
If MJ's on the team, I don't care what other 5 Hall of Famers are on the other team. If MJ is with 4 Hall of Famers, MJ will will that team to win.
Oh, that's not what I thought you said. I thought you said MJ and then 4 scrub-a-dubs versus 5 Hall of Famers.
Listen, you can take
I meant scrub-a-dub Hall of Famers is what I meant.
There's plenty of scrubbed-up Hall of Famers. You got Dino Raja. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. How the hell is he even in the Hall of Fame? Oh, he was a great Vlade Divac's in the Hall of Fame. How in the hell is that guy in the Hall of Fame?
He played a long time.
No, it doesn't matter.
He's a Laker.
Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame.
He should be.
He shouldn't be. No. The NBA, the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame gives out Hall of Fame. It's like, you get in and you get in. There's more people that are that are in than what should be. I mean, it's crazy.
Hey,
why do they do that?
Because they're honoring their better players of the different generations, unlike Major League Baseball, who says, we'll do 2, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, wait, nobody this year.
It only proves that the best Hall of Fames is pro football and hockey. Because you have baseball who isn't letting anybody in. Then you have basketball lets everybody in. And then you have the 2 do it probably better than anybody else.
Goldilocks, is that what you're saying?
Sure. Yeah. Just right. Speaking of just right, I think this show has reached its just right time. So for the guys here, Jarvis is ready to go to bed. He's had a long day. Grandpa's been driving. He's got to go. But appreciate you guys tuning in for.
Have you gone to Jarvis? Have you gone to the Louisville Slugger Museum?
I've already done that. We did that on Father's Day a few years ago.
Okay.
Well, several years ago now. But I lost what so we're walking Purdue. You're going to enjoy this. I got to throw this out. I didn't mean to extend the show a little bit longer. You will love it. So we're walking at Purdue, and we're about finally done with the tour. Well, Purdue's a big campus. I mean, like, we walk basically the whole campus. I mean, it's not like gigantic, but I mean, it's a big university.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking up the stairs to go head back into the union, the union, student union or whatever. And I looked at Jill, and I was like, and I'm with my ex-wife and Jill. Okay, so we're walking up the stairs. I'm like, man, Jill, I said, you imagine when I go on Weston's visit, I go, I'm not going to be able to make this walk on Weston's visits. I'm going to be in a cart. Anyway, I'm going to be grandpa dad. How am I going to do this? I mean,
Weston's going to have to push you.
We walked probably 1.5 miles today or 2 miles. And I'm like, dude, I'll be like 80. I ain't gonna be able to do that or whatever.
Jarvis, you can at that point the hover rounds will be so much better than they are right now.
You're gonna tell him, hey, Jeffco, that's all you got. You can get the JUCO.
Another thing they had here at Purdue, which was crazy, these kids could order food, and this robot cart brings it to them. It goes through campus.
Oh yeah.
Purdue
Technology.
Purdue are the ones that invented it and had it here in 2019. Had it in 2019. It brings food. You order the food. They put it in this robot, and the robot brings it to your dorm.
Yep.
Okay. Did you guys watch this movie? It's like it must be a documentary. It's called the Terminator.
Terminator.
I mean, I feel like we are getting to that point. We are allowing AI to do a lot of things that it doesn't need to do. Just throwing it out there. I don't know. No,
we'll save the conspiracy theorist episode for another time. How about that?
All right. Well, for Jim Powers, who had to leave,
Grandpa Dad out.
Yeah, and Kevin, who's not here, and everybody else. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of the Coach's Box. It was 192. Next week will be 193, and we're getting closer to the big
2 and 93.
Yeah, almost there, man. Big 200. We'll have to put out a poll for different things we need to do for the episode 200. Maybe that's what we should do. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys all next week. Good night. God bless, and take care of them. Bye-bye now.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.